What's up, folks? How are you? Matt Perrault back with you here on our PlayPicks.com YouTube channel. And boy, it's time to pick the national championship game. We started these videos in August, and here we are in January. Hopefully you've enjoyed the ride. Hopefully we've made you some money this year. We got one big one to come. And if you believe the folks at William Hill, they are predicting this is going to be the most heavily bet college football game of all time. Why? LSU is bringing out everyone. Your mom, your dog walker, your neighbor, your postman, everyone is on LSU. For the purpose of this video, we're going to do a money line bet, a side, a total, and player props that we like. It's going to be a little bit of a longer video than normal, but we're going to go through this whole game. It's the last college football game of the year, and why not go to playpicks.com/bonus, start it off, click on one of these great offers. How about a $500 risk-free wager for this game? How about a $250 bonus, 100% match from Sugar House in Jersey and Pennsylvania? BetMGM, $500 risk-free wager. You got to click that play now, fire it through, take advantage of this monster opportunity with LSU in Clemson in the national championship game. Let's start with the location. New Orleans, New Orleans, New Orleans. It's incredible that LSU is going to be playing in their backyard. Purple and gold everywhere. Huge ticket demand in New Orleans. Everyone wants to go to this game. The atmosphere inside of this arena, inside the Superdome, going to be very interesting to see how many Clemson fans get in. I'm going to predict a 60-40 split. There'll be Clemson fans there, but I think you're going to see a whole lot of LSU purple and gold going crazy in this game. So home field advantage, a little bit of a tip of the cap to LSU. Let's look at the lines. All right, let's start here. At DraftKings, 5.5 for Clemson, LSU laying 5.5. Total 68 plus 180 on the money line, minus 210 for LSU on the money line at time of taping. Over at FanDuel, very similar situation where you've got with college football here. Clemson catching 5.5 plus 180, under 68.5, a little bit of a tick up there for that. Okay, let's begin just who wins the national championship game, right? Who's going to win this game? LSU and Clemson have been on a collision course for pretty much half the year, right? So Dabo Swinney is trying to win another national championship, go back-to-back here, but the first team to go back-to-back in the playoff era. For LSU, well, they're trying to have the first Heisman Trophy winner win the trophy in the playoff era and to be the first one seed to win the national championship in the playoff era. That's a lot riding on this game, and Joe Burrow had a monster performance against Oklahoma. 7 touchdown tosses, 1 rushing touchdown, just incredible. They were 12.5-point favorites. They win by 35. Incredible performance. Oklahoma stinks, okay? We know this with the Big 12 now. I mean, Baylor losing to Georgia in the bowl game. Got a pretty good idea where the Big 12 was this year. Not very good. This is Clemson. Clemson has expected to be here. Clemson has been waiting for a chance to get back to this game, you could say. All hands on deck. You got the better quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. Joe Burrow is the bigger name. He's going to be the number one pick. I understand it, but no. This is still about Trevor Lawrence. He's undefeated. He's never lost a game in college. 25-0. It's insane. Through 2 years, he wins this game. He'll be 26-0, heading towards a mandatory third year in college where he might run the table again and wind up 40-0 with 3 national championships. That's insanity for a career. You could make the case that Trevor Lawrence might go down as the greatest college football quarterback of all time. It's not a crazy comment. It's not some hyperbolic scream there. That's, the hyperbole there is there, but maybe not that much. Clemson with Travis Etienne against a defense that gave up a lot of yards on the ground to Alabama and a lot of yards on the ground to Auburn. I'm telling you here, I'm going to take Clemson. Now, I'm not going to go as heavy on the money line as I will on the side, but I'm going to take the plus 180. I'm going to take from both either side, FanDuel, DraftKings, plus 180. Money line, Clemson wins another national championship. They go back-to-back in the playoff era, and the 1 seed, again, will not win the national championship. So you can probably guess where I'm going here on a side play. Let's take a look at some of the numbers here for Clemson and LSU when it comes to their totals, when it comes to their percentages. Clemson has been an unbelievable team against the number. Look at this. They've gone 8 of the last 9 they have covered, and they're covering monster numbers. they're getting favored by 29, 35, 48, 35. I mean, it's ridiculous what this team has been able to accomplish when it comes to against the number this year. Favored by 2.5. They win by 6 last time out against Ohio State. Clemson has never been an underdog this year. They've been favored in every game, and they've almost covered every game. They're getting points here. Why? Because LSU is Conor McGregor. The last time we saw lopsided betting like this was Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather Jr., where everybody and their mom is on LSU. Line opened up at 3. It's been as high as 6 here in Vegas. I know Jersey, Pennsylvania, ticking down just a little bit, but my feeling is that 6s are going to be out there. Get 6. It's a key number. Get 6. Get 6.5. I like it even more. But if you can find 6, I'm not a huge fan of 5.5. I want the 6. Get to 6. But LSU laying 6, Clemson catching 6. I know you got 3 straight covers here. But you look at, the Auburn game, they win by 3 here, 11.5 point favorites. I mean, Texas, 6.5 point favorites. They win by 7. Yeah, they killed, Georgia and Oklahoma. And you could say this resting and playing at home, this receiving core is unstoppable. Joe Burrow is unstoppable. But I think this is Clemson's defense, and I think this is Clemson running the football with Travis Etienne. I think he has a huge game on the ground. I think LSU's defense is susceptible to giving up big yards rushing, and I'm going to go ahead and say Clemson plus 5.5. Plus 6, I like it more, but 5.5 for now. I'm still okay with taking the 5.5 because I told you I'm taking Clemson on the money line. So I'll take the 5.5, full 1-unit wager here. Clemson plus 5.5 here for the national championship game. So first, Clemson. And with their awesome 11-3 number against the spread, I think they cover again, catching 5.5 from LSU. Moneyline play, sprinkle it in, Clemson moneyline. Then to a total. It's 68 here at DraftKings. FanDuel is 68.5. I'm taking the under here. It's juiced up a little bit at minus 115 to 68.5 here. Still minus 110 at 68 at DraftKings, but I'm going to lay here the 68.5 with the under. And here's my thinking. Look, these two teams, if you start looking through the games this is a game log for Joe Burrow, but look at some of the numbers here. The total for Clemson, oftentimes their defense holds teams to a low. 23 points. That was the number 1 offense in the country with Ohio State. 48, 49 points a game. They scored half of that, which is what I thought they were going to do. I would expect LSU to score, but I think LSU is going to be cut in half. They're putting up 48, 49 points a game. I think they're going to be in the upper 20s, low 30s here in this one. I think this is a back and forth battle. I think this could be a game decided by a field goal. I'm not expecting a massive 80-point game, however. And I mean, look at these 68.5 is a huge total. Now, let's just go ahead and look real quick here. This is for the game. Look at if I scroll up and take a look at the point spread analysis here for totals for LSU and Clemson. Look at some of these totals. 62, 62, 63, right? That's for Clemson. This 9 is 60. They've never had a line this big, LSU, for a game with Clemson at 68.5. And look, 62 under, 62 under, 63 under. When the numbers get high, everyone expects points. Doesn't happen all that time with games involving Clemson. For LSU, okay, but when their numbers get up there, 69 with Arkansas, that did go over, but you start talking about 60-72, that game went under for them against Utah State. Everyone thought there would be offense there. There was 75 with Oklahoma, and it did go over by 16 points because of the 63 points that Oklahoma gave up. I just don't see it. Georgia with 57, Texas A&M 63.5, under with both those two games. Georgia plays great defense, comes in with the under. Georgia held LSU to 37 points. I think LSU gets held to 7 points less than that. I think it's about 30 for LSU here in this game. So I'm going to take the under. I'm going to take the extra hook here with 68.5. I'm taking the under in the national championship game. So Clemson plus 5.5, Clemson on the money line, and I'm taking the under. This is why I'm wearing this t-shirt, if you can read it. It says contrarian bet. Why? I'm fading the public. I'm fading everyone who's telling you to bet LSU. I'm running the other way. Some books are having 92% of the money and 95% of tickets on LSU. This is when everyone goes one way. Broncos, Seattle Super Bowl a couple of years ago, same thing. Everyone on the Broncos Seattle won the game 43-8, I believe the final score was. I'm not saying that Clemson's going to blow out LSU. I'm just saying when everyone's going one way, I'm going the other way. I'm going to run away from everyone because this would be a historic loss for the sportsbooks. If LSU does a Patriot thing here, wins and covers, this is going to be historically bad for the books. They're going to take an absolute beating here on this game if that's what happens. But Clemson, 5.5, Clemson money line, under 68.5. Now let's talk about a couple of prop bets here for this game. And let's play a narrative out, okay? Let's talk about how I'm seeing the game go is Etienne running the football, Clemson's defense playing well. So I think Travis Etienne rush total, right to look at it. It's 94.5. 94.5, it includes overtime, but 94.5 for Travis Etienne. At DraftKings, it's 94.5. At FanDuel, though, it's down to 92.5 for the over. Take Travis Etienne, 92.5 on the over. I think he's going to run the ball. Again, Alabama and Auburn both had running backs go for over 130 yards. I think this LSU defense can give up rushing yards. I think they're going to be nervous about the passing attack. They can worry about Trevor Lawrence. They're going to really focus on Trevor Lawrence running the football, by the way. He killed Ohio State. You better believe they're going to be keying in on him when it comes to read options. I think Travis Etienne's got a chance to pop a couple of real big runs against his LSU team. I like Etienne over 92.5 for rushing totals. Other props. How about when it comes to Joe Burrow and his rushing totals? If you go and look at Joe Burrow game by game with rushing, last game, 21 yards. Game before that, 41 yards. So we didn't run much against A&M, but he didn't need to. But Arkansas, 24, 26 yards, 64 yards against Alabama, 31 yards against Auburn. Why? Pass rush. Guys get upfield. Joe Burrow runs. I think Joe Burrow's rushing totals are definitely worth looking at. FanDuel is 28.5. DraftKings got it at 26.5. Go with the 26.5. Joe Burrow over 26.5 yards rushing in this game. I think he scampers. I think he picks up yardage and first downs with his legs with the Clemson pass rush getting upfield. And then finally, passing attempts. Trevor Lawrence set at 30.5. It's not set at FanDuel, only at DraftKings they have this prop up, but Trevor Lawrence passing attempts 30.5. You look at some of these numbers here for Trevor Lawrence in terms of where he may go. In games that he had 33 attempts in the last game. He had 22 attempts against Virginia. But I look at most of these games for him, sure, 36 against South Carolina. I think they're going to try to run the ball. I think this is going to limit the number of passing attempts for Trevor Lawrence. I think they're going to run the ball a lot. I think he's going to go under 30.5 passing attempts here. They're going to try to run the ball, keep the ball away from Joe Burrow, slow down that offense. That means less passing attempts. I'm going to go under 30.5 passing attempts for Trevor Lawrence here in this game. I think they're going to call a lot of running plays and a lot of plays for Lawrence to pick up first downs with his legs if he can. So those are three prop bets that I like a lot. So again, to recap, going Clemson plus 5.5. We're going with the under 68.5. I'm taking Clemson on the money line plus 180. Travis Etienne over 92.5 yards rushing, Joe Burrow over 26.5 yards rushing, and Trevor Lawrence under 30.5 passing attempts for the national championship game. If you like these plays, head on over to playpicks.com/bonus. Click to play now. Sign up on one of these great platforms where you don't have an account and take advantage of these free no deposit bonuses here for the national championship game. I'm Matt Perrault. I hope you had a phenomenal college football year. Enjoy the national championship. It's LSU number 1, Clemson number 2, undefeated teams in New Orleans for it all. Doesn't get much bigger or much better than this. Have fun, enjoy the game, and we'll have more to come here on the PlayPicks YouTube channel as the NFL season continues in the playoffs, as we head towards the AFC Championship game and the NFC Championship game, and then the Super Bowl coming up in Miami. I'm Matt Perrault. Best of luck. Enjoy the game.